Welcome back to the channel, guys, and I hope you guys are doing pretty good. Good to see your smiling face today. Now, in today's Study With Me video, we will be focusing on automating RedBus. Now, this particular question was asked for the company Amazon. The candidate was having around 4 to 5 years of experience. The thing over here, guys, is this assignment is pretty big, 5 hours long, out of which around 1.5 hours, I'm going to release it for you guys, the public viewers. If you enjoy the 1.5 hours of Study With Me series, you should definitely join the Tech with Jatin membership, the YouTube membership. The thing over here is, over there, you're going to find detailed explanation of video like this. You're going to find ultra premium content without any ads. So if you're interested, you can just click on the join now button next to the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed to this particular channel, please make sure you do that also.
कोई तरीका है भीख मांगने का? भीख तो हाथ जोड़ के मांगते हैं, आप लोग तो दादागिरी कर रहे हैं।
So without wasting time, guys, let's get started now. Welcome back to the class, guys, and I hope you guys are doing pretty good. Now, in the last class, we have solved the assignment of yatra.com. Again, it was an important interview question. So I hope that you were able to write the code along with me. And people who have not studied Selenium WebDriver, if you were able to write the code, I am the most happiest person in the whole world. All right? Because the thing is, see, these interview preparation lectures are particularly taken in a way that you are not only building the solution, but you're also learning Selenium WebDriver. All right. Now, in today's class also, we will be solving another important interview question. Technically, this particular question was asked in Amazon. So, the candidate was having around 3 or 4 years of experience. And this particular question was asked to him. The website over here is RedBus. It's a very popular website among the UI automation guys because this particular website is very, very tricky to automate. I won't say difficult, it's tricky. So, all your basic knowledge of Selenium WebDriver is not going to work over here. And technically, it is a very good thing because when you start automating websites like this, you are learning new things. All right. So, the thing is, how exactly we will be building this particular solution is one, we will be revisiting the concept of your Selenium WebDriver. So if you're aware of Selenium WebDriver, I'm pretty sure this particular lecture is going to help you out. The second thing is, if you're not aware of Selenium WebDriver, the way this lecture is going to be constructed and is going to be created is that by the end of this particular class, you will be around 60-70%, like having a strong foundation of your Selenium WebDriver. Trust me on that. Now, as usual, what I'm going to do is, I will first explain you the problem statement. We will do it manually, all right? And then we will try to write the code. You don't need to worry about pausing this particular video also because I have kept the timer of 5 minutes. So you will get enough time to write the code. All right. Generally, what happens is people pause the video, then they write, then they go back to cross check all those things. You don't need to do any of those things over here. I'm going to give you enough time. 5 minutes timer will be there for you guys to write the code. Now, this particular assignment needs to be done in one day itself. All right. So, I have to complete it in one day. And the same thing is for you guys also. If you are watching this particular video, you plan to do it probably on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so that you have a very enough time to complete this particular assignment. Same what we have done it, Yatra assignment. Because what happens is if you technically break it off what you have learned, okay, let's say Friday and you try to do it on Sunday or Monday, that connection get lost. All right. So I don't want any of those things. If you are deciding that you are going to build the solution for RedBus, do it in one day along with me. Perfect. Are we on the same page, guys? All right. Now, the first thing which I want from you guys is get yourself tea, coffee, whatever you want. Have your tea, coffee ready. If you have your mobile phone next to you, you know what to do. Put it on the silent mode and be at a place where you can just relax and focus on this particular assignment. Whether you know Selenium WebDriver, whether you don't know Selenium WebDriver, don't worry about any of those things. All right. We are going to do everything from scratch. All right. Now, I hope you have your tea, coffee ready. Now, There is a document. The assignment I have created and put it in the document file. So you can just download that particular document and just go through that particular document once. Okay. I'm giving you exactly 2 minutes and spend that particular time reading that entire document. I hope you have gone through the entire document, guys. Now, people who don't have that particular document, don't worry. I'm going to read it in front of you guys. I'm going to explain you. It's going to be kept on 50% of my screen, so you will be able to see it properly. Now, over here, guys, the assignment which we have over here is we have to automate the RedBus search functionality. Now, as I have said, this particular question was asked in Amazon. Okay. During this particular interview now for Amazon, the interviewer did not ask the candidate to write the whole code. Okay. Interviewer did not tell write the whole code. He just asked the candidate to write the code snippet. Okay. The code snippet was told. But in order to write the code snippet also, you need to do it at least once. Are you getting the point? So we are not going to focus on code snippet. Code snippet for me to explain you guys is the most simplest thing. To build the entire solution is the most tricky part over here. All right. So over here, guys, in interview, they can technically ask you to write the code snippet. But since we are studying, since we are learning things, since we are preparing for the interview, our job over here is to make sure that we are building the entire solution. Now, the objective over here is to automate the RedBus search functionality and extract the result using Selenium WebDriver in Java. All right. Simulate a real user journey on your redbus.in, starting from selecting the cities and printing all the available bus operators, that is the bus name, after applying some filters. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how it is going to be done. Instructions are written over here. You're supposed to launch browser and open the website. We are supposed to launch the Chrome browser, navigate to https://www.redbus.in. People who are watching this particular video from outside India, I hope you will be able to view this particular website, particularly in the Europe region. Now, when we say that we are launching a Chrome browser, what is the syntax for that? 90% of the time people will say WebDriver WD equal to new Chrome driver. All right. This is the syntax. Perfect. Then you are supposed to navigate. How do you navigate? wd.get, and whatever is the URL of the web application, you pass it off over here. Select the source location, the from location. We are supposed to enter Mumbai, wait for the auto suggestion to appear, select Mumbai from the suggestions. All right. Now, if you notice carefully, select source location and select destination location. It's more or less the same thing. The only thing is the location part. Source location, destination location, only that part is changing. The rest of the stuff is same. Click on the to input location box. Here we were clicking on from the location part, right? Enter Mumbai, enter Pune over here, wait for the auto suggestion to appear. Select Pune from the suggestions. Search for the buses, and in order to do that, you are supposed to click on the search button. Then, if I scroll down, you are supposed to apply filters like Primo filter option and evening filter option. Once it is done, handle the lazy loading. Scroll until the end of the list. We are supposed to scroll the entire page. Keep scrolling down the bus list until the end of list message appears. Ensure all the buses are loaded. Okay, all the buses information needs to be loaded, and this is basically what you call as handle lazy loading logic. Now, the thing is, whatever the challenges that we will be facing while creating this particular assignment, you're supposed to remember it for your interview. Because in interview, they can always ask the question, tell me what are the challenges that you faced in your application. Say the same thing, what you did over here, what you did in Yatra, what you did in Telet. Remember that part. Done. Finish. Are you getting the point? Now, let's scroll down. Extract and print the bus operator's name. That is something that we are supposed to do. After fully loading the list, extract the names of all the visible bus operators, print each operator's name. Finally, print the total number of buses available after filtering. expected outcome. Okay, you're supposed to build all those things. Submission guideline, you're supposed to submit the GitHub repo link. So you're supposed to build a solution. You are supposed to push this particular project into the GitHub repo. Are you getting the point? Perfect. So this is the whole assignment, guys. Now, what we will be doing is, we will try to perform this particular operation manually. First, I'm going to do it. Okay? First, I'm going to do it. Then you guys do it at your end. Perfect? Great. Now, guys, the first thing that we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to visit redbus.in. Okay? I am over here. The next thing that I'm supposed to do is, look carefully. Okay? There is the from location box and there is a to location box. This is not a text box. This is not a text box. Why? Because if it was a text box, if I click over here, you see this auto suggestion comes into picture. There is a pop-up or a drop-down that appears over here. The moment you click on it, only then I'm able to see this blinker where I can write the text. Right? So I'm going to write over here Mumbai, M-U-M-B-A-I. You see, data is getting loaded. Okay, there is this circle which was coming over here and then the data was getting loaded. The next thing, from this auto suggestion, I am supposed to click on Mumbai. Click over here. The moment I clicked on Mumbai, automatically the focus went to the to region. Alright. And over here, again the blinker is there. This is the blinker. Right. What I am supposed to do, I am supposed to enter Pune. So I am going to say P-U-N-E. Yeah. Once it is done, the data is getting loaded. It takes a little bit time. You see, if I'm going to remove this thing and I start typing again, there is this loading that comes into picture. Then Pune comes. Alright. So this particular data which you are able to see, it is getting populated by some API. That API is bringing the data and getting populated over here. From here, I'm supposed to click on Pune. Perfect. Then I'm supposed to click on this search button. Okay, the search buses option. Click over here. Button, not option. Click over here. The moment I do this, it takes a little bit time for the data to get populated over here. And from the filter buses, we are supposed to click on Primo as well as evening. The moment I do this, I'm able to see that there are 69 buses. Alright, there are 69 buses. And these are the bus name. NTMB link. For you guys, it might be a different data. It is completely fine. For me, it is right now showing 69 buses. For you guys, it might be a different data whenever you're watching this particular video. So if I keep on scrolling down, you see the data is getting loaded. Alright. The data keeps on getting loaded. Down, 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 down. You see? We have to load or we have to scroll down till the time I'm able to see this particular message, end of list or find more result. So I'm able to see this end of list now. So I have to scroll down and I need to come to this particular region called end of list. Once end of list is shown, I'm supposed to get all the data of these buses, the bus name. Technically, I just need to take the bus name and we are supposed to print the 69 buses. Alright, there are 69 buses. So we are supposed to print all those bus name on our console. Are you getting the point? Yes or no? Perfect. Now, I want you guys to do this same operation at your end. Alright? Try to perform this same operation manually. Okay? Take your time. Get comfortable with this particular web application. Alright? So let's repeat it one more time. What we are supposed to do? We are supposed to go to redbus.in. Let's remove all these things from here itself. Okay. Done. Over here, from location, we are supposed to click over here. We are supposed to enter Mumbai. Data will be loaded. Then we are supposed to click on Mumbai. Then over here, from the to location, I am supposed to enter Pune. Data will be loaded. You are supposed to click on Pune. Then you are supposed to click on the search button. Click over here. It is going to take some time. Data will be loaded over here. Then From the filter buses option, you are supposed to click on Primo as well as evening. The moment you do this, you are going to get some buses. For me right now, it is showing 69 buses, and for you guys, it might be some different number of buses, and it's completely fine. All right. Then you are supposed to scroll down, and every time I'm scrolling down, new data is getting popped up. All right. It takes a little bit time to load this particular stuff. Once this particular loading is going to happen, the entire bus information, the 69 buses, once it is loaded, the operators and all come into picture, you will be seeing a message called end of list. Once you see end of list, you are supposed to tell me the total number of buses as well as their bus name. So 69 bus names should be printed on our console. Clear to everyone? Perfect. This is what we are supposed to automate. All right. So now what I want you guys to do is, I want you guys to just get familiar with this particular website. Okay. Just do whatever you want. You want to find locators, find locators. Don't write the code. I'm going to give you time to write the code. Just get familiar. All right. Once it is done, we will create a new project in our Eclipse, and then we will start automating this particular website. All right. I'm giving you exactly 5 minutes. Just, use this particular website. That's all I can say. Use it off quickly. All right, guys. I hope you have spent a decent amount of time on this particular website. Now, let's go to our Eclipse and let's create a new project over here. So, let's go to Eclipse quickly, guys. And over here, guys, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a new Maven-based project. I'm not going to use this Yatra calendar automation. We're going to use a new project only. The first thing over here, guys, let's close the console also. I don't need this git staging area. The first thing, I'm going to right click over here in the package explorer, near the package explorer over here. You are going to right click and you're going to create a new Java or Maven project. We're going to create a Maven project over here. We're going to click over here as create a simple project. All right, skip archetype selection. Click on next. Give the group ID and artifact ID. What is this group ID and artifact ID? Just give the project name over here. I'm going to call this as RedBus Automation Assignment. Or let's keep RedBus Automation. Again, here also I'm going to give RedBus Automation. The name of this particular project I'm going to give as RedBus. So I'm going to copy this, paste it off over here. All right, click on finish. All right, we got this RedBus Automation project, the Maven project created over here. If I open this, I am able to see src main Java, src main resource, src test Java, src test resource. GRE system library over here is 1.8. We're going to change it to a different version. src folder, target folder, and pom.xml file. So the first thing, what we will do is now we're going to change this SE version, okay, from 1.8 to something else. Over here, I was using 11. So let's keep 11 only. So I'm going to right click. You can right click on the project, or you can right click on GRE system library. Our goal is to change this version from 1.8 to 11. So I'm going to right click over here on the project, go to build path, go to this build path option. I hope you're able to find this stuff. Click on configure build path. All right. Click on this GRE system library. Click on edit, and which is 1.8, you just change it to Java 11. All right. So when I say Java 1.8, this is Java 8. I hope people know that. Okay. So this is Java 8, Java 9, Java 10, Java 11. This is Java 11. I'm going to click on finish, apply and close, and observe it has changed to Java 11. All right. I hope you have done this particular stuff at your end. Nothing fancy. We are just setting up the project. Now, the thing over here, guys, we are supposed to add our Selenium WebDriver dependency. So what we will do, we are going to go to our Chrome, and technically, I'm going to go to the Maven repository. So go to Chrome and search for Maven repository, particularly Selenium WebDriver. So just search about Maven repository, Selenium WebDriver. The first thing which you see is Selenium Java. Click over here. And we are going to take the latest version, which is 4.33. For me, it is 4.330. For you guys, it will be something else. Just select the latest version. Copy this particular dependency. Copy this particular dependency. So it's copied to the clipboard, or you can just select this, press Ctrl C. You know how it works. Come back to the pom.xml file, and over here in the pom.xml file, you are going to paste this particular dependency. Now, what is this pom.xml file? The purpose of pom.xml file is to technically manage the various dependencies that are going to be there in your project. Now, what do you mean by dependencies? See, when I'm trying to build a particular project, okay, apart from Java, if I need anything else, it is a dependency. Apart from Java, if I need anything else, it's a dependency. Java on its own offers me a lot of packages, a lot of classes. But the thing over here, guys, is if you need something else apart from Java, that becomes a dependency. Are you getting the point? Now, we want to automate the browser. All right. So, Java cannot do that. But Selenium WebDriver can do it. So, Selenium WebDriver becomes our dependency. So, we have created a Maven-based project because Maven can handle dependencies. I don't have to manually download the jar file and put it in my project. If I just say over here, dependencies, observe carefully, dependencies, all right, inside the dependencies, I paste my dependency Selenium Java version 4.330. I save this particular file. Automatically, this Maven dependencies folder got created. Inside this Maven dependencies folder, you will find Selenium, like APIs 4.330. So, along with Selenium API, whatever are the other dependencies which Selenium WebDriver is using, all those dependencies are also downloaded. Makes sense to everyone? Perfect. So, over here, guys, what we have done, we have added the dependencies Selenium Java in our project. Quickly do this thing at your end. I'm giving you exactly 2 minutes. Quickly wrap it up. All right. I hope you have added this particular dependency. Now, guys, you might see that there is a crossover here. It does not mean that this particular file is wrong. if I just close this particular stuff, it goes away. It's an issue with the Eclipse. It has nothing to do with my pom.xml file. Our structure of pom.xml file is correct only. You can press Control Shift and F. Control Shift and F. What Control Shift and F is going to do? It is going to fix the indentation. You see, inside dependencies, I am having one dependency. All right, I can save it off. In fact, I can even go to this dependencies tab. Okay, and I can see that I am using Selenium Java dependency. Are you getting the point? Now, what do we want? We want to automate RedBus. The thing is now, we don't want to create framework and all. Okay, this assignment is only to focus on automation of your RedBus website. Clear? So, over here, if I want to automate RedBus and all, I am not really worried about writing test scripts and all. So, I will only focus on src main Java. I'll write my code over here. Alright. So, what we will do now, we are going to go to the src main Java, right click over here, and you're going to quickly create a package. What will be the name of this package? Whatever you like. I am going to call this as com.redbus. Alright. I am creating a package called com.redbus. Then, what we will do, we are going to click on finish. So, our script is going to be kept in this com.redbus package. Alright, quickly do this thing at your end. It's pretty simple, okay? Now, what we are going to do, guys, is we are going to quickly create a class. Okay, do it along with me now. Okay, I'm giving you ample amount of time. And I'm speaking slowly also, so you have enough time now. So, over here, we are going to quickly create a class. Let's call this particular class as RedBus Automation Assignment. Alright. Learn to listen to my instruction. You don't have to always cross-check on your other screen or your mobile phone what this guy is doing. Okay, you have to always listen to what I'm saying and quickly try to perform that particular operation on your laptop. So here I'm trying to say that you try to create a new class, call this particular class as RedBus Automation Assignment, normal Java class. Alright. And inside this particular class, I need a public static void main method. Clear to everyone? Perfect. I hope you have done this thing at your end. Quickly click on finish and we are here. Remove this auto-generated stuff. You don't need it. Let's save it. Now, we are at the beginning, okay, the start of our scripting. Okay. Now, the first thing what we want to do over here, we want to launch the browser. Okay. I'll write it off, then you have to write it along with me. Alright. The first thing, I want to launch the browser. Okay. Which browser you want to launch? Chrome browser. Alright. How do you launch a browser with the help of Selenium WebDriver? Yes. You are going to say WebDriver WD equal to new Chrome driver. WebDriver WD equal to new Chrome driver. Let me import WebDriver. Okay. Now guys, before we launch this thing, tell me something. What is Chrome driver? Java concept. Chrome driver, new Chrome driver. Tell me what is new Chrome driver. This is an object. This is an object. In your Java, I have always told you something. Object is always going to be created of what? Child class. What is a WD? What is a WD? WD is a variable. Perfect. What kind of variable is WD? It's a reference variable. Whenever you are creating reference variable in Java, reference variable is going to be of what type? Parent type. Okay. So over here, if I have to just revisit this particular statement, your reference variable is always of parent type. So if I was having a class called parent, reference variable is P. Object is always going to be created of child class. So whenever you are going to have inheritance, okay, in inheritance, because of this concept of inheritance also, um, you will always create object of child classes. And the reference is always going to be of parent type. Why did I say parent type and not parent class? The reason for that is whether you have interface or you have your abstract class, they both are basically what? They both are basically your parent entity. Makes sense to everyone? All right. Now, when you say parent P is equal to new child, okay, what this is going to introduce in your code is something which is called as loose coupling. What do you mean by loose coupling? Loose coupling is like a Lego piece. Like, um, how do I say that part? You have those Lego characters and all. You can remove something and you can insert something else and it works the same way. The same thing we do over here also. When I say WebDriver WD is equal to new Chrome driver, currently Chrome driver is going to focus on automating, or I would say controlling your Chrome browser. All right. So over here, guys, if tomorrow I want to change it, I don't want my browser to be launched on Chrome browser. I want Edge driver to be launched, or Edge browser should be launched, not driver. Edge browser should be launched. I just need to change one line, and this particular project is going to work on Edge browser. Are you getting the point? This is what you call as loose coupling. You remove one thing and you just replace it with something else and it works. Now, this also offers you something, because when you write parent P equal to new child, it offers you something which is called as, like your runtime polymorphism. Polymorphism. And all these questions, now they ask in interview where you have seen runtime polymorphism, where you have used interface in your project. Now, sometimes if you haven't created interfaces or if you haven't created custom parent and child classes, you can always talk about this particular line itself. The idea behind asking this particular question is to see whether you actually know, okay, what these concepts are and how they have been used in your project, or you're just mugging up the code. So when I say WebDriver WD is equal to new Chrome driver, technically you are doing runtime polymorphism only. Okay, this is the starting point of runtime polymorphism. Now, whatever the methods I'm going to call from WebDriver, whether it is Chrome driver class or whether it is the parent of the Chrome driver class, those class will be executed. Those methods will be executed over there. Are you getting the point? So, if someone asks you in interview, what is the advantage of interface? Interfaces basically offers us loose coupling. Okay. Everyone will talk about that, hey, with the help of interfaces, you can have multiple inheritance. Right? I'm pretty sure that this is what you know. With the help of your interface, you can have multiple inheritance, meaning there can be one child class. This particular child class is taking the property of a parent class, and technically it is taking another properties from different interfaces. So somewhere down the lane, we are able to have multiple parent entities. So if you want to have multiple parent entities, you need to have interfaces also, which is a good answer. Perfect. But if you really want to impress the interview to a little bit, like next level, you're supposed to say, with the help of interface, you can also achieve loose coupling. Make a note of this particular point. All right. Quickly make a note of this particular point. All right. Perfect. Great. Now guys, let me just delete this particular drawing. I hope you have written WebDriver WD is equal to new Chrome driver. What happens when you run this particular script? If I just save it, click on the play button, observe the browser get launched. Perfect. That's the most obvious thing. So whenever you are creating an object, what is an object? What is an object? Yes, object is an instance of a class. That's what the definition most of you guys remember. No, object is a real world entity. You studied Java with me, na? What is object? Object is a real world entity. What is a real world entity? You, me, this laptop, this pen, okay, this pen, they exist in reality, right? They occupy some memory space, not a memory space. They occupy some space. I'm occupying the space on this particular chair, right? I'm occupying some space in this particular room. So anything that occupies a memory space is always going to be an object. So over here, if Chrome driver is an object, if it's a real world entity, then something should happen. The moment you click on the play button, a browser instance is getting launched. So this browser which is getting launched over here, it is occupying a memory space on my laptop. Yes or no? Are you getting the point? So whenever you create an object, object is what? A real world entity. Right now on my screen, I'm able to see this particular browser window. So over here, this is a real world entity. Makes sense to everyone. Now, I hope you have written this particular line, WebDriver WD is equal to new Chrome driver. The next thing, we are supposed to go to the redbus.in website. So let's do that. How do you visit a particular website? Visit redbus.in website. This time, I want you guys to write the code because I know you know the line. Write first. Quickly write it down. Yep. wd.get. So wd.get https://www.redbus.in. Save it. Click on the play button. Works. Alright. Now guys, the next thing, I want to maximize the window. If you notice, what is happening is, obviously, RedBus website is getting loaded, but the problem over here is it is not on the full screen. Okay. What should I do over here? Most of you guys are thinking, Jatin, you should write wd.manage. I'll write it down. wd.manage.window.maximize. This is what you're thinking, no? wd.manage.window.maximize. 5 points to you. But now, let's say I am taking your interview and I tell you that, hey, I want to maximize the window, but you are not supposed to write the line wd.manage.window.maximize. I am repeating this particular question. I want you guys to maximize the window, but you are not supposed to use the line wd.manage.window.maximize. Then how you are supposed to do? Yes? What are you going to use? Take a moment and think about this particular question. Okay? If I don't want to use wd.manage.window.maximize and I want to maximize the window, then I can do that with the help of something which is called as Chrome options. What is Chrome options? Chrome options is basically a class which basically helps me pass different options, which is going to help your Chrome driver set up the initial configuration of your browser. So, what I am going to write over here? I said Chrome options is a class. So, I'm going to say Chrome options equal to new Chrome options. It's a class. What do you do of a class? You create a object. Now, Chrome options dot add arguments. We want to add an argument, and this particular argument is going to be about managing the window size. Okay, so what I'm going to say in double quotes, double hyphen start hyphen maximized. Now what you're supposed to do, guys, you are supposed to take this particular Chrome options and you pass it to your Chrome driver, and now you just comment wd.manage.window.maximize. Just comment it. How do you comment a line in Eclipse? What is the shortcut for that? Yes. Control Shift C. Control Shift C. Save it. Then click on the play button and observe. Browser is maximized, right? Please make a note of this particular point quickly. I'm repeating. I'm giving you 2 minutes to write this thing, guys. Whenever you are supposed to maximize a browser, okay, whenever you are supposed to maximize the browser, of course, one way is to maximize it with wd.manage.window.maximize. This is one of the way. But if in interview they ask you the question that don't use wd.manage.window.maximize, the other way to maximize the window is with the help of Chrome options. Chrome options is basically a class which basically helps in managing the Chrome browser by passing different operations. Okay, not operations, I say options. So once you create the object of Chrome options, take that particular reference variable and you pass it off to your Chrome driver. All right. So once it is done, if I'm going to click on the play button, you will notice that the browser is already getting launched in the maximized mode. All right. And then it is loading your RedBus website. Is this part clear to everyone? Now, if you have written the code, I want you guys to spend 1 minute, just 1 minute, looking at the code, whatever I have written over here. Can you do that? Just I'm giving you 1 minute, because what is going to happen now, by the end of this particular class, the code is going to be very lengthy. It is going to be very lengthy. So please make sure when I give you time to just observe the code, you take that particular time to just look at the code, whatever we have written, and try to explain the code to yourself. Is this part clear? Quickly spend 1 minute time going through this code. All right, guys, I hope you have gone through the code. Now, let me just remove this particular comment because we don't need this particular line now. Let's save this particular file. All right, and let's click on the play button one more time. Let the browser be launched. Let us be on the RedBus website. Now, the first thing over here, guys, is that we want to just focus on this from section. Okay. Now, over here, guys, the only thing that matters to us is this particular chap. This chap. All right. Over here, our goal is we are supposed to click on this from region, whatever it is. We are supposed to click over here. Then this pop-up is going to be loaded. All right. Along with that, once this pop-up is loaded, I am supposed to enter Mumbai over here. Mumbai. Once I type Mumbai, there is this loader that comes into picture, na? Okay. That loader is going to bring the newly updated data. We are supposed to click on Mumbai. That's all we are supposed to do. All right. I'm repeating it one more time. We are supposed to click on this from section. Then this pop-up is going to come into picture. I am supposed to type over here Mumbai. Then the result is going to be updated. I am supposed to take the updated result. I am supposed to click on Mumbai. All right, this is what I want to do. Two sections we are not really worried about. So let's do it together. All right. The first goal over here is we are supposed to find this particular element. So how do we do that? Let's close this, okay, and let's launch it one more time because we want to be exactly on this particular section now. You see, it is empty. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to right click over here on from. I'm going to click on inspect. Inspect. I right clicked over here and I'm going to click on inspect. So it is taking me to this particular div. Let me just zoom in for you guys. So control plus zoom in, and I'm going to scroll down. This is that chap. Now this is a div. Another thing that I notice over here on this particular div is that this div has a class. And the class is technically having the value label underscore 57 EDA7. Now, label is fine for me, but the remaining part looks auto-generated. Looks auto-generated. Yes or no? So we can't really rely on this chap. Generally, when we are talking about any click operation, like click operation only I'm going to talk majorly. So you should not really focus on div. Technically, we are looking for something called a button and all those things. Okay. So div is fine. But if I try to read a little bit above, this is div. This div basically have this label city wrapper. Let's click over here or let's bring our mouse over here. So it is technically highlighting this from region for us. This region, now you observe over here. I'm bringing my cursor over here to label city wrapper. It is bringing this from. This from region is getting highlighted. If I go up, then there is this icon coming into picture. That icon I'm not really interested in. Then if I go up, I see a placeholder coming into picture. Then if I go up, then the entire from region is getting selected. And this particular from, guys, is very important for me. Why it is important? Observe carefully. It's because this div has a class src destination wrapper. What? src destination wrapper. This one. src destination wrapper. Underscore E7, E69. I'm not really worried about this chap. But I'm also able to see that it has a role equal to button. Role equal to button. So over here, for this particular web application, the button is this chap. Okay, what is class and what is role? They are basically called as attribute. So the class, @class and @role, technically is acting or is giving the attribute, the extra information for the element div. Now, if I focus on this chap, you see the entire region is getting selected for us. So if you notice, I can bring my cursor here also and I can click and it is going to open the pop-up. Getting the point? So you always select a bigger region for your clicking. All right. And this particular element is the one which we are really interested in. So I want you guys to come and focus on this div class src destination wrapper, which is going to have role equal to button. We are supposed to write the XPath for this particular web element. Okay, we are supposed to write the XPath for this particular web element. So how do I write the XPath? Okay, I'm giving you some time people who are aware of writing the XPath, you just take a notebook and pen, just scribble it quickly. What do you think the XPath should be? Okay. How should I write the XPath of this particular stuff? I hope you have written it. Now I will write the XPath. I'm going to select this particular element just by clicking on it. I'm going to press Ctrl F. Then you're going to say 2/. Find anywhere on the page. What does 2// means? Find anywhere on the page. What do you want to find on the page? I want to find a div, man. Okay, and you will notice that there are 704 div. There are 704 div present on this particular page. Out of those 704 divs, I am supposed to find a div that contains what it contains. It contains an attribute called class. What should be the value of class? Now I forgot that. I'm going to right click on inspect, and if I scroll up, the value of the class should contain src destination wrapper, source destination wrapper. I'm going to put this guy. Close this. Okay. Then you're going to close the square bracket. How many divs are coming into picture? I see the first div, 2/div, square bracket contains @class source destination wrapper. When I write this particular XPath, I'm getting 2 web elements. This is the first one. The second one is this one. First, second, first, second. Getting the point? I want to be really specific. So not only I am interested that it should have the class source destination wrapper, but it should also have a role with the value button. So just double click on it, select this thing, copy it. And how do you put 2 attributes condition? Find me a div that contains class as source destination wrapper, and it should have an attribute @ role equal to button. Now observe carefully how many web elements I'm getting. One and only one. I'm going to copy this particular locator in Selenium WebDriver. Whenever we are talking about locators in Selenium WebDriver, which class comes into picture? By. Remember? By class comes into picture. So by, okay? By is what type of a class? Abstract class. Can you create an object of an abstract class? No. You cannot create an object of abstract class. Can abstract class have constructor? Yes, it can have constructor. So over here, guys, if I go to this particular by class, okay, you will notice by is a class which technically takes care of locator, mechanism used to locate elements within a document. Okay. And all the methods inside the by class are static in nature. So if you are having a class and that particular class is having static method inside it, should you create an object? No, you're not supposed to create an object. Static methods are always accessed by class name. So when I say by dot, I will see all the methods: class, class name, CSS selector, ID, link text, name, partial link text, tag name, XPath. What are these? The various 8 locators which are there in your Selenium WebDriver. So I am supposed to go with by.xpath, and in double quotes I am going to give my XPath. Div contains @class source destination wrapper and contains the role button. Alright. Now what does XPath method return us? If I bring my cursor to this method, you will notice that this particular method is public. Green dot means public. S, it is a static method. The first thing which you see, what is written over here? By. It is the return type of this particular method. Returns a by which locates the element via XPath. So it returns me a locator only. Okay, so you're going to write it like this. Since XPath method returns me a by kind of a data, you're going to create a by kind of a variable. And over here, I will say what? This is going to be source. I don't know, what do you call it? Thinking. The name of the variable is very important. Source button locator. Source button locator, because one, it is taking care of the source section and it is also a button, and by because it is a locator. Now, sometimes people get really confused. Or Jatin, by.xpath, you're creating by, what it means. That's the reason I told you. Observe what exactly xpath method returns me. Now, suppose xpath method was returning me integer data. Suppose it was returning me integer data. Okay, this xpath method is giving me integer data. Source button locator, what will be the data type of this particular variable? You will say integer. Good. Suppose xpath method was returning me boolean data. What should be the data type of the source button locator? You will say boolean. Perfect. But xpath method is returning me by kind of a data. By kind of a data. That's the reason the data type of your source button locator is by. Make sense? Now, what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to find this particular element. I'm supposed to find this particular element. So how do I find an element? Find element method. wd dot find element. Observe carefully. Find element method requires a parameter. Find element method requires a parameter. It requires a variable whose data type is by. This by is written in capital. No? This first thing which you see, by is written, the first by with B capital. It is the data type. It is telling me that, hey, find element method requires a by kind of a variable. Do you have a by kind of a variable? Yes, source button locator. If I'm going to click over here, automatically the auto suggestion comes into picture and says that go and select source button locator. Boom. What does find element returns me? Now I know everyone is screaming. Yeah, it is going to be web element. So if I want to bring my cursor to find element returns me what? It is a public abstract method. It's a public abstract method. Green dot, na? Public. A means abstract. The first thing which you see is the return type, web element. So find element returns me a web element. Put an equal to sign and say over here, web element. I'm thinking of a good name. Source button. Source button. Now I'm supposed to import this web element. It is a button. What do you do on a button? You click on a button. Source button dot click. Source button dot click. All right. I save this. And this is the code which I have written over here. First, we are selecting the locator. Then we are finding the element. Then I'm going to click on that particular element. So let's click on the play button and observe what happens. Do you observe what has happened? Yes. The suggestion box is up. This suggestion box only comes into picture when someone has clicked on that button. So close this. Let's click on the play button one more time. Yes, this click has happened. So now the first thing was that I was supposed to click on this button. Quickly write this particular code at your end. I'm giving you exactly 3 minutes to write this particular code. All right, guys, I hope you have written it off. Now let's continue. See, now the story starts. You're like, Jatin, such a simple thing. You were supposed to click on the from button. Now I'll be able to select the from text box and I'll be able to send keys to this from text box, na? Yeah, that's how the story starts. You know, anyways, I'll tell that story some other time because this assignment is else going to be very, very long. All right. Now, over here, guys, we are supposed to select this particular from text box. So I'm going to right click over here. I'm going to click on inspect. Did you notice something happened? Okay. I'm going to click over here and I'm going to right click on inspect. Alright. I'm going to click over here. I'm going to right click on inspect. Alright. I'm going to right click over here. I'm going to click on inspect. Observe carefully. The moment this suggestion box comes into picture, if I try to inspect this particular chap, that particular suggestion section goes away. So this is the first challenge. All right. Over here, we are supposed to locate that particular region, this particular text box region. All right. But the thing is, I am not able to find that particular region because if I try to do that, if I right click on inspect over here, that particular text box region goes away. How to do that? Like, Arey Jatin, from is there, na? You are supposed to write it in the from only, na? No, Re Baba, there should be a blinker coming into picture. From is here only. See, this is the from. From has become small. Where is this particular region where I am supposed to enter now? How to handle it all? So, now guys, people who are good with Selenium WebDriver, yeah, start writing the code. Okay. Now, the thing over here, guys, is from wherever you have studied Selenium WebDriver, from YouTube, Udemy, offline sessions and all, this is the time that particular knowledge is going to stop. Okay, I don't want any kind of, like that knowledge coming over here. Because when we try to learn things, we try to learn it from scratch. And the main focus over here is we don't want any half-baked knowledge, half knowledge to come into our way. All right. So keep your ego aside now and start focusing on the script which we will be writing. The thing over here, guys, is it is technically next to impossible to find the locator for this particular text box. It is next to impossible. Then how to find that stuff? You will notice something. What do you notice? Notice carefully. The moment I click on this from button, there is a blinker. Yes, there is this blinker which is there. This there, na? Now my focus is on this view more section. My cursor is over here. But when my cursor is over here, I am typing MUMBAI. Where exactly Mumbai got written? Inside that text box on. Are you getting the point? The moment I clicked on it, the blinker was on that particular text box. I don't need to find that particular element. The focus is already on that element. Okay. These are the minute things that you should notice when you are using the application by yourself. You're not writing script. When you're just using the application, you should notice where exactly the focus is happening. The focus is happening over here on the text box itself. So if the focus is over here only, then why do you want to find the element? Are you getting the point? So what should I write over here? How can I get an element, okay, where the focus is? The active element. How do I get the active element? Anyone? Yeah. So over here, what I'm going to say, WD dot switch to dot active element. WD dot switch to active element. And this particular method, switch to active element, is going to give me that text box. Why it is going to give me the text box is the moment I perform the click, the blinker came automatically on that text box. Okay. It's going to give me a web element. Don't write the code. I'm going to give you time. Web element. This is going to be search, text, box, element. Copy this. Paste it over here. Search text box element, send keys. Mumbai. Save it. Don't write the code. Wait, hold on. Let's click on the play button and observe what happens. Nothing happened. Arey Jatin, what are you teaching over here? Nothing happened over here. Wait. Now, I'm going to put thread.sleep. Duration, 4 seconds. Bring your cursor over here. Throws declaration. Alright, let's click on the play button. Observe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, Mumbai. What do you notice? Arey Jatin, you have used thread.sleep. This is how scripting happens. Then you decide ki baba how to remove those thread.sleep. The first goal is let your text be written in that respective text box. Are you getting the point? Now, before you guys go and start writing the code, let's understand the next 3 lines. That's more important. Over here, till clicking on the source button locator, I think it was a pretty straightforward approach. The challenge came into picture was ki baba, I need to find that text box. But the problem over there is that every time that I am trying to find this particular text box, what is happening? That text box goes away. Okay, you see, I'm right-clicking, clicking on inspect, the text box goes away. Then what I'm supposed to do? Then we noticed, arey, the moment you click on it, the focus is already on that text box. Why do I say the focus? Because blinker is there, na baba. Blinker is here only. So when you click on something, only then the blinker comes, na? So this is the focus. So even if my cursor is on the home and I start writing over here Pune, automatically Pune is getting written in that text box. Okay. So you need to tell Selenium WebDriver that, hey, you give me the web element, okay, which is active right now. And whenever, guys, you're clicking on this particular div, this is the active element. I won't be able to draw it off. So imagine this thing. This is the active element. All right. Now I want to tell Selenium WebDriver, hey, give me that active element. So I can get the active element using wd.switch to active element. Once I get that particular active element, I'm saying enter the text, send he is Mumbai. But you noticed that when there was no thread.sleep, that operation did not happen, right? The moment I kept thread.sleep, that operation happened. Why? Because when your Java code is running, it is running at a very fast pace. The execution is happening very quickly. And your web application is going to take some time to load those elements. That's the reason synchronization is very important. You need to make sure that your scripts are getting synchronized. All right. So, in order to just make sure that this operation happens for us as of now, okay, with this script, whatever we have written, that's the reason I introduced a delay. This is not synchronization. This is a delay which I'm putting. I'm putting a delay of 4 seconds. Are you getting the point? So, when I say 4000, this is 4000 milliseconds. 4000 milliseconds is 4 seconds. So, my script stops, or I would say pause for 4 seconds. In that 4 second, okay, all the elements gets appeared on the page, and then we are telling Selenium WebDriver move or switch to that active element to that particular text box and enter that text called Mumbai. So if I'm again going to click on the play button, click on OK. 1, 2, 3, 4, right, Mumbai. All right, it works. Are you getting the point? Now, guys, I am giving you 3 minutes. Let's make it 5 minutes. Write this particular code at your end. Alright guys, I hope you have written the code. Now some of you guys will be thinking, Jatin, let's solve the synchronization issue. So let's do that. See guys, thread.sleep is actually a bad practice. You all know that. Because what is happening is, we are not making the script synchronized. We are making the script slow. Alright? And generally what happens, if you have a large test suite which has like around thousands of tests running. So in each of the tests, you are introducing a 4-second delay. Alright? So technically the execution time is going to be more. A lot of time in an interview, they ask the question, how do you ensure that your test execution time, you're reducing it? Now, there are various ways you do that. If I'm talking it from the script level perspective, you're supposed to use waits. Now, you have implicit wait, you have explicit wait. Which type of wait you are supposed to use? So, if you're thinking that you are supposed to use implicit wait, let me just tell you one thing. No, you're not supposed to use implicit wait. Then what? Only use explicit wait. So when I'm talking about explicit wait, a very special class comes into picture. Which is that class? WebDriver wait. So guys, the main thing over here that you should remember is that whenever you want to make the script synchronized, you're not supposed to use find element. This is the first problem. Okay. Then what I'm supposed to use? You're supposed to use wait until. Okay, what? Wait dot until. Now, wait, to be honest, is going to come from a special class, okay, which is the WebDriver wait. This is my reference variable of WebDriver wait. So technically, you're supposed to use WebDriver wait only. So as I said, WebDriver wait is the class. What you will do is you will introduce a new reference called WebDriver wait. WebDriver wait equal to new WebDriver wait. And notice the constructor of WebDriver wait requires a driver as well as duration. Did we create a WebDriver reference? Yes, WD. Automatically it will come in suggestion. WD. Then it requires duration. So you're going to say duration dot of seconds. How much seconds? 30 seconds is more than enough. Okay. So with the help of your WebDriver wait, we will introduce synchronization. Okay. We are going to introduce synchronization. Now, we have created this particular variable. You see, there is a warning. This variable is not used. We will use it now. Don't worry. So, what I'm going to do now, this particular line is not good. You're not supposed to write wd.find element. I'm going to Control Shift C, comment it. Then what I'm supposed to write? Wait dot until expected conditions dot visibility. Okay, visibility of element located by. Visibility of element located by. This is a static method. Expected conditions is a class. Visibility of element located by. You pass the source button locator. Now this entire line which I have written, wait until expected conditions, visibility of element located by, I am passing my by variable over here. What does this line returns me? It returns you the same thing. What? Web element. So over here, copy this. Put it off over here. The difference between this line and this line is of synchronization. Here it is going to wait for the source button locator to be visible on the screen. And once it is visible, only and only then it is going to perform the click. So this line which we have written now is synchronized. Alright. This particular line is synchronized. Makes sense to everyone? Don't write, wait. Next thing, What about the thread.sleep? See, now let's go back to the application. Let's refresh it. Over here, observe carefully. The moment you click over here on the from, this pop-up comes into picture. Sangam, Wadi, Swargate, Nigdi, Wakad. Because I'm in Pune, I'm able to see these options. Okay. I am supposed to see whether this particular suggestion box has come into picture or not. So how to do that? I'm going to right click. I'm going to click on inspect. The moment I do this, the suggestion box goes away. Again, I'm going to click over here. Okay. I will try to right click over here and I'm going to click on inspect. Goes away. Then again, I'm going to click over here. Probably I will do something on the element section. I'm going to press Control F. Goes away. Right. Let's click over here. Control F. Okay. Click over here. I start typing over here. It goes away. So I can only interact with that element when it is shown. Right now, whenever I am trying to find this particular element, if I perform any click on the element section, it goes away. How to handle this kind of an issue? Okay. Remember these challenges. Remember these challenges. You can talk about these challenges in your interview also. So if the element, disappears when you perform a click on going to the elements or you're trying to find the locator and all, what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to introduce breakpoints. You're supposed to introduce breakpoints. How to introduce? Very simple. You go to the source section, the sources section. Over here, you bring this guy a little bit up. Okay. Now, I want you guys to go to your Chrome browser. Okay. Inspect certain elements, any element, whatever you want. You come to the sources tab. You should see something called breakpoints, called stack. Okay. DOM breakpoints, all those things. I hope you're able to see this particular option. All right. I hope you are in the sources tab now. Now, what you guys do is you want to find this option called event listener breakpoints. Event listener breakpoints. Click over here. Now we are supposed to introduce a breakpoint. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you about different types of breakpoints. I'm going to tell you only one. Okay. And that one breakpoint that you should remember is XHR. XHR. Click over here. Okay. Click over here. Now, you have these various XHR events and you're only interested in one ready state change. Click over here. Ready state change. Now, observe carefully. I click over here on from. I start typing Mumbai. Okay. The moment I do this, it should pause. You notice what happened? Paused in debugger. So now this entire page has paused for us. And it becomes very easy for me to locate this particular element. Again, I'm going to repeat what I've done. I went into the sources tab. Okay. Then we went to event listener breakpoints. You are going to go to XHR and you only focus on ready state change. Click over here. What this ready state change means is whenever you are making any API request or if you're going to get a response back from the server, the page is going to pause. And over here, the moment I wrote Mumbai, this data is getting loaded, na? So there was an API request made, that request got some data back, automatically the page paused. Are you getting the point? Now that this particular page has paused, I can go to the elements. I can go to the element section and now I'm going to just search for something called Mumbai because that's what we have written, Mumbai. And I am interested in the suggestion. Like let's go down. There are 40 places Mumbai comes into picture. Let's write Kurla. That will be easy for me. All right, there's only 2 places. Kurla over here. One more place is there. Okay, 2 places Kurla is there. All right, got it. This is the one. Okay. This is the next section. This is the list. Another one. Search category. Let's close this one. Yeah. So you notice that I have search category 1, 2, 3. There are 3 divs which are technically the result of search suggestion wrapper. So the thing is, let's go to a new one. This is the new one. Let's close this one. The moment I type Mumbai na, this suggestion comes into picture. This suggestion basically has 3 things. Okay, this is the first one. Then you have popular boarding points, the second one, and popular cities near you, third one. So technically, you have 3 sections in the suggestions coming into picture. Understand, this is very important. This website is very critical. All right. If you are able to automate Yatra, if you are able to automate RedBus, if you are able to take care of Telit, you are done with Selenium WebDriver, guys. Okay. Because the challenges, the scenarios which are there in these web applications are the modern based challenges. Are you getting the point? So you should be aware of these challenges, all right? And when you are explaining these challenges in your interview also, that this was the challenge that you faced in your project, how were you able to overcome it, it shows that you know Selenium WebDriver properly. Now, over here, just to repeat what we have done so far, please don't do it at your end. Wait till the time you get comfortable with all these things, then you practice it off at your end. Let's close this particular step. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh it off. Now, let's right click over here, click on inspect. Let's go to sources. Okay. The first thing is we are going to introduce a breakpoint. So I'm going to go to this event listener breakpoint, and you will notice that I am interested in the XHR. XHR. This is the one which we are interested in. You're going to click over here and let's select this. Now open it off. You are going to select on ready state change. Ready state change basically means that whenever there is an API request made and if you're getting a response back, the page is going to pause. All right. Now, if I don't have this particular stuff, see, we have this particular region from region. Now, if I'm going to click over here, this data comes into picture. Where this data is coming from? It is coming from some API. If I go to the networks, you see, if I want to click on collect, if I go to preview, let's go to, this is a different one. This might be let's click over here. Okay. And over here, you might be having this data which is coming over here. I won't be able to show you the data because the moment I click it, probably it might gonna go away. Let's go to response, fail to response data. It goes away, you see. So over here, guys, the thing is, if you are interested in getting the data and you want to save this particular stuff. So whenever these operations are going to happen, when the API request is made, you're getting the response back and you want to pause the UI exactly at that time, you are going to focus on XHR breakpoint. So in your event listener breakpoint, you are going to select XHR and probably you're going to check on ready state change. Click over here. Now, click on the from, type Mumbai quickly. I'm going to give a little bit of space, pause. Okay. Now, the moment this particular screen has frozen for us, we can go to the elements tab, press Ctrl F over here. You see, I'm able to press Ctrl F and this particular region is still there. I can just type for Kurla probably. And yeah, this is something which I'm able to see. This is the list header, meaning one of the entries. Then I am going to go to the search category. Now, if I close this thing, I have 3 search categories, right? Search category, which is, this is the one. The next category is probably something else, okay, which technically I can see it from here. the popular cities and all popular boarding points. Okay. And then you have the popular cities. So if I just type over here Mumbai, this is the data which API brought for us. Then you have popular boarding points near you, and then you have popular cities near you. So these are the three categories. And these three categories, guys, are technically part of your search suggestion wrapper. So this particular section comes into picture, okay, when you click on the from. All right. So the moment you click on the from, the search suggestion wrapper is going to come into picture. Now, my job over here is to check whether search suggestion wrapper has come or not, whether it is visible or not. All right. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to press Control F. I'm going to say find me a div that contains what? It contains a class with the value search suggestion wrapper. Close this chap. All right. Search suggestion wrapper. All right. So I'm going to take this particular stuff and I will check whether this particular section is visible or not. That's all I want to focus on. So I'm going to come back over here, and instead of writing thread.sleep, which we are going to comment now, I'm going to say wait dot until expected conditions dot visibility of element located by. Visibility of element located by, it requires a locator. So we are going to create a locator by search suggestion section locator equal to by dot xpath, and I'm going to paste this particular locator over here. Take this particular search suggestion section locator, pass it off over here. All right. So we have introduced a new locator, which is the search suggestion wrapper. And we are checking whether it is visible on the screen or not. Are you getting the point? Make sense? Now, guys, what we will do, we will save this particular file quickly. Okay. Let's click on the play button and observe whether it works or not. What happened? Works, right? So that's how you handle synchronization. Now I don't need to put this thread.sleep. I can remove it, save it. Okay, I'm going to click on the play button one more time for you guys. Works. One more time. Is this part clear to everyone? Perfect. Quickly write this particular code at your end. Firstly, thank you so much for watching the video so far, guys. It really means a lot to me. And I really hope whatever the solution that we have built so far, you're crystal clear with all the concepts, how I have written the code, you're understanding the entire logic. If you're really interested in the second part of this particular video, you should definitely check out the YouTube Tech with Jatin membership. For a price less than 100 rupees a month, you are going to get detailed explanation videos like this without any ads. Along with that, whatever are the important interview questions which students and professionals have faced, you're definitely going to find it over there. Along with that, if you want me to cover any important interview question, you can just directly comment it off in any of the videos. And if you are a member, those questions will be taken as a higher priority. So if you are really serious about your SDET interview preparation, you should definitely join this particular membership, because I think it's going to give you a way better ROI. So I hope to see you guys over there. And now I'm going to see you guys in some other videos. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.